Good Friday afternoon. I'm Jerry Miller. Welcome to the I Love CVille show. It's great to be with you. Friday means live music on our network, and we have the Bhakti Boyz in-house. We bring the weekend a little sooner to you. So whether you're watching at a cubicle, whether you're watching at work, or whether you're Vanessa Morris, who says, I miss you, Gabe, my brother from another mother,
Hey, Vanessa.
welcome to the
That's
program. We are live in Charlottesville. We are live in the Commonwealth, the country, and the world on the I Love CVille network. Give it a like and a share on any of the 12 Facebook pages you're watching. We're going to introduce you to a band that I think needs no introduction. The Bhakti Boyz are bringing heady tunes and positive vibes and just a feel-good nature to the world, and we're excited to showcase them today. And I'll tell you what, Judah, since we're tight on time, why don't we go straight to the studio camera and welcome the Bhakti Boyz to the program. Howie Log in Las Vegas, welcome to the show. We have Anthony here, we have Gabe, and we have Phil. Gentlemen, good afternoon, and thank you kindly for joining us.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having us.
Our pleasure. Thank you for helping set this up. We're going to start with Anthony. Introduce yourself again to the viewing public. You are doing many good things on many different levels, my friend.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, this is a different context to be here. This is the passion project, Bhakti Boyz music, but another passion of mine, of course, is housing and homelessness, where I work to help people get off the streets and have a community where we don't have to have people who live on the streets. This is our friends. We get together and play music together. Comes out of a kirtan tradition, which is a call and response devotional chanting practice that comes from India and different cultural backgrounds within India. And then we just kind of add our own flair to it. But I don't know, that's me. Do you want to know anything more about me?
Well, that was great. You can say,
Okay.
We have no rules here.
No
you
rules.
can say anything you want here. You're just a guy that is all about the golden rule, all about making his footprint in the community better than when you first arrived. I really like the positive energy around you. I'm excited to hear you play music. How about some musical inspirations for you in your life?
Wow. Well, I had two older brothers growing up, and in the 90s there was a lot of great hip-hop. So Fugees, De La
Nice.
Soul, Tribe Called Quest.
Love all those.
Oh yeah, that's where I get a lot of the rhythmic inspiration. And then even to they were really into dance music in the 90s, so Daft Punk was a big inspiration. Finding samples, looping those samples is something I love doing. We do a little bit of that with Bhakti Boyz, not as much. And then of course just singer-songwriters in the 70s, 60s, Beatles, Rolling Stones. And then Motown, like R&B, is a huge influence for my style, I think. They always joke that I'm like writing 70s, R&B songs, basically. And if that's the feedback I get, I'm very happy to hear that. So, yeah.
Very nice, very nice. So, Judah, why don't we go to the studio camera? We're going to get Gabe in the mix here. I'm going to relay some positive perspective. Phil, you're getting some props from Beverly Yeager.
Oh.
She says, hey, Phil.
Hello, Beverly.
We got Ohio watching the program as we speak. Charles, the owner of Orzo Kitchen and Wine Bar, is watching. Same with the Southern right now. All right, Gabe in the mix. Love what you're all about, Gabe. Your second time on the show. You love playing music. How about an introduction of who you are to the viewing public?
I'm Gabe, and happy to be here again. Music is really feels like my spiritual calling and my path. So it's where I'm focusing most of my attention these days. I'm also a massage therapist, but trying to shift the balance more and more towards music.
Musical inspirations for you, Gabe?
Certainly Bob Marley and the Wailers, a band called Midnight, Peter Gabriel, lots of Motown stuff. I grew up in the 70s, so I was listening, I think, inspired by a lot of the same music that Anthony's inspired by. I think we share that musical connection.
Yeah.
Very nice. Phil, we're going to go down the same path with you. Well-traveled individual?
Very much. I've been everywhere.
Yeah?
I've lived all over this country. I've lived in Italy. I've lived in Colombia, South America. Done many different careers. Once upon a time, I was a trial lawyer in northern New Jersey. Gave that up for a different lifestyle. Moved to the South and have been engaged in a whole bunch of different things. I ran a children's day camp after being a trial lawyer and opened a meditation retreat center, which was a pretty cool transition. I'm passionate about a lot of things, too many things to even get into, but I'll talk about music. I love music and I love playing. For me, music is kind of a branch of creating community. My background is mostly in Americana, where we get together in jam circles and play and create live music. I've started a couple jam sessions that are outreach to people who are not virtuosic players, who usually don't go out and perform, but to get them to come together and experience live music as a group. So I want to thank the Haven for having given us a space to do that here in Charlottesville. So for me, music is about creating community, and some of that for me behind the scenes is ethical and spiritual. This music is also participatory when we're in a group setting, and is really simple. It's about creating joy. It's about take a break from your life. Let's just be happy for a few minutes for no particularly good reason, and that's a really positive, important thing, I think.
Amen.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of fancy thinking behind it. Let's just be happy.
The owner of Pro Renata, John, welcome to the program. Ray Jordan, Heather Travis, Lowe, Suzanne Jenkins. One of the best last names I've ever heard is giving you some props. Kate Papa Kozma?
Yes.
Am I saying that right?
You are saying
That's
it.
a phenomenal last name, Papa Kozma.
Papa
Oh, that's
Kozma.
okay. All right. Hey, hello. She's sitting in the studio right now. All right, so why don't we do this? My role on a Friday is to talk less. Ooh, someone giving you props right now, Anthony. Thank you for what you're doing for homelessness in Charlottesville. That's from Laura, who's watching.
Thank you, Laura.
Rose. All right, I'm going to get out of the way. Would love to hear a song, and then we'll have some fun after the song. One of you guys want to take the lead and let us know what we're going to hear?
Sure. So we're going to play Govinda Jaya, which is our first single, actually. It's on streaming platforms. Go look it up. It's the Bhakti Boyz, BHAKTI BOYZ, for all you R&B fans of the 90s.
That.
Yeah,
Yes.
we had to put a Z on.
Anthony puts
it
the
just was
Z in
appropriate.
boys.
No, I like it. I like it.
This song's called Govinda Jaya, and it is a chant to Govinda, who is a type or a form of Krishna, who embodies love and devotion, divine love and devotion. And this is designed, to basically elicit the joy of love when you sing it. And Phil, do you want to add anything else to that?
I think you got it perfectly.
Okay, so it's simple. It's a song to God, which many of our songs are, and it's about just singing in joy.
All right.
All right.
Nice, Gabe. That was good.
Yeah, no, there you go. Angle that down.
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya 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 Gopala Devaki Nandana Gopala Gopala Devaki Nandana Gopala Gopala Devaki Nandana Gopala Gopala Devaki Nandana Gopala Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Gopala Devaki Nandana Gopala Gopala Devaki Nandana Gopala Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya Radharamana Hare Govinda Jaya.
It was beautiful. Dude, you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful voice. So we'll get some props out from the viewers. Debbie Dodds is watching right now. It says, sounds great. Where's your guitar? I missed the first part. Where can I watch it later? You can watch it on ilovecville.com. We'll turn it to a podcast. She says, really nice sound.
Do you know that person?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Hello, Debbie.
I'll just say the guitar's in the computer right now, so there you go.
Camry Harris says, awesome, awesome, awesome. Very nice sound. She's watching as we
Camry.
speak. Someone at City Hall says, Anthony, I didn't know you could sing. Watching right now. Matt Lovick.
I get that a lot.
Right? One of your friends. Betty Jo Taylor, hello, welcome to the program. Don Chowdhury, Jody, Sharon Hughes Taylor. Sharon Hughes Taylor says, absolutely beautiful. Tell us about the song.
Well, that's actually a song I wrote in college, and just had been spinning it around in my head. When I met these guys, they were just kind of, we started out playing really traditional kirtan songs, which we might be able to get to today. And we just were sharing songs we'd written, and this one kind of came up, and they were like, Gabe, I think especially, was like, yeah, I really like this groove. Yeah. I don't know, we just kept playing on it. Phil came in with backup vocals. I had that melody line kind of created, but I didn't know what to say in the song, which is actually basically my story with all my songwriting, is I never really know what to say on songs. And so what better to say than just to sing the name of God is my thinking, and that's what we did. So yeah, and it just kind of came together.
Vanessa says that was an absolutely gorgeous song.
Thank you,
Way
Vanessa.
too cool. Jordan Walters, the fabulous racquetball player, is watching from North Carolina. Valerie Buddha, hello. Wendell Gibson, William Jones III. Orion, the front man for Orion and the Melted Crayons, watching the program. Welcome to Jefferson to the show. Talk to us about the tune.
So, yeah, I love that song. I feel like it brings in elements of different styles. I play
Yeah.
sort of a Latin style bass line, but then we get into a little bit of a reggae vibe.
Yeah.
And it just, as soon as we started jamming it, it felt awesome.
You're going to love this. Camry says, I love Gabe. He's the coolest and most supportive guy out there.
Thanks, Camry. Love you too.
That's accurate.
Yeah. He's chill
Maybe
vibes
not.
with this guy.
He's a great
I
guy.
love
He's a great guy.
We would be vying for the coolest. But he's also very supportive.
Jump in here. I like your humor. Jump in here and talk to us about that song.
Well, as Anthony mentioned, we started in a traditional environment where the music is more overtly religious and has a degree of formality patterns to it. And what we're doing is sort of breaking out and taking the ideals, the ideal of joy and love as a universal concept, not necessarily towards an individual romantic love, but the idea as a concept. And that's what we're trying to create. That's what we're hoping to elicit in the listener, in the person who's listening. Sounds like it's working.
It definitely sounds like it's working.
There's like bossa vibes in there with the guitars. There's I don't know, a lot of different kind of influences.
It's a
that come
beautiful
together.
cultural amalgamation.
Yeah. And also shout out to our good friend Gopal Metro from Yogaville, who helped us master that song. Again, it's on all streaming platforms. So he's really helped us kind of refine our sound. So shout out to Gopal.
Karen Neal giving you some props. Sarah Burke giving you some props as well. Give it a like and a share on any of the 12 Facebook pages. And if you want to relay some commentary to the gentleman, just put it in the comments section and I will pass it along. D. Claudio watching as we speak. All right, so I love Fridays.
Fridays are great days. And it's Valentine's Day as well.
I just love to live. I feel like if you love life, it can't help but love you back. I have a zest for life. I especially love Fridays here because of the human connection piece.
Yeah.
I love music. I'm going to get out of the way. I'm just going to watch. I got a front row seat on 3 fabulous musicians doing something.
You were grooving to that last one.
Oh my gosh, I love it,
Yeah.
dude.
All right, good.
Yeah, and it's all kinds of music. Anytime
Yeah.
I get to see someone be the best version of themselves, it's contagious.
Absolutely.
And you
That's
guys-
why, live music is like that, for
Yeah,
sure.
right? Okay, show's yours.
All right, let's see, what's next? Loka?
Loka. So this is a song that I'll be leading and wrote. The prayer that we're going to be using is Loka Samasta Sukhi no Bhavantu, which is a prayer that you will hear at Yogaville, where a lot of us, or the 3 of us, have had are involved. So the translation could be, may the universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. May the light of truth overcome all darkness, victory to that light. So again, a very positive
World
message.
peace.
World peace. But the idea here is not necessarily to focus so much on the words, but to focus on the groove, the feel, the sound, how it makes you feel. That's really that's what we're trying to create. Now I'm going to have to move this mic. I hope it's not too noisy.
Okay.
Need to get that halfway in between there and there. Maybe a little bit higher.
Yeah, that's good. There you go.
And you guys getting some props right now.
We love you, CVille.
Our rhythm section ready?
Yeah.
was beautiful.
Thank you.
So good, so good. Tell me about this instrument here.
I saw you looking at
I don't think I've ever seen an instrument like this.
Yeah, I don't know if we can get it on camera too well, but what we're playing here is called a harmonium, and the instrument is used in kirtan music in India, and it was brought there originally by missionaries, Christian Portuguese missionaries, and the Indians promptly said, "Thank you very much for the instrument. We'll use this for our Hindu worship services." And that's how it got into what we do. So it's a lovely instrument. It has a very drone effect. The idea is to create that very meditative drone sound. Absolutely love the feeling.
Sharon says, I can't wait to see you guys live again tomorrow at the Mud House.
Yes.
And she's invited me. I may come, Sharon. Thank you for that invitation there, Sharon Taylor. Trip Stewart, the veterinarian and fabulous squash player, welcome to the program. Jeremy Hagg, David Stipe. Let's get some props, and we're going to get Gabe in the mix. Vanessa says, I love the rhythm. Todd Pattison says the vocal harmony is on point. So you're getting some props. Also from Jaime Diaz, am I saying it?
Jaima.
Jaima.
Happy Love Day, boys. With the Z at the
Happy
end.
Love Day.
Yeah?
the Z.
Gabe, the show's yours. Tell us about that. What you love about that song?
I love the overall vibe of that song, and I also love Phil bringing in the English translation,
Yeah.
because I think it's such a powerful message, and it's one that I actually try to come back to every day. Of like, if I'm trying to raise my vibration or just pray, it's not just for myself as an individual. It's for everyone and everything. And so I think it's great to have that as an anthem for spiritual unity.
I feel like, and this is obviously one of the missions, when people listen to your music, like Christy Simpkins or Tabitha Cawthorn watching right now, they leave feeling better about themselves.
Absolutely. That's
and life and happiness. I mean, there's so much, especially with the ubiquitous nature of these things and the negativity that's out there on social. We all need an escape. I feel like we all have some commonalities as people. We all want to be seen, heard, understood, and loved.
Yeah.
And
Amen.
you guys are embodying that with your music.
Yeah.
Throw that to you.
Thank you.
I mean it.
Want me to respond to that?
Anything-
statement?
anywhere you
it's
wanna
hard
go.
to respond to that statement. I don't know. I love this song because it has that traditional vibe. We bring in the harmonium, which is like Phil said. I mean, it's just one of the best instruments to sing with. And the harmonies, I'm glad people are digging the harmonies. I love singing with other people. I love singing with Phil. I feel like our voices really just, I don't know, it just feels good when we sing together. And this song in particular, I think, highlights that a lot, which is cool. And then, we just decided to drop a breakbeat, and then there's an awesome groove that Gabe brings to it. So it's just it's also a good representation of who we are, I think, because it brings all those different aspects to the table of what we like to play. It's traditional, but also we love to dance, we love to groove. So
It is based in a more closely on the traditional type of would be call and response. If we were in a yoga studio playing this or something like that. But the thing I want to mention about this, one of the most incredible things I've ever read was from Swami Satchidananda, who founded Yogaville. There's a document called Affirmations, and the very first line is, "You are happiness personified." Not that you're a person who can be happy, not that happiness is something outside of you. It's that you literally are the embodiment of happiness. And so, it's not that I walk around all day filled with joy. I certainly don't. But the starting point, no doubt, right? The starting point is that is inherently what you are. As in Buddhism, you are a Buddha. You're simply trying to polish it. So recognize that and find it and let it out. However you do it, but that's what we're trying to do.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Roger Voisinay, welcome to the show. Rob Hubbard, the fabulous musician, watching the program as we speak. I'll thank a couple more, and then I would love to hear some more music. Charles, is it Geffen, watching the program?
Yep.
I see Fort Myers, Florida, watching. Savannah, Georgia. Bernadette Lark, watching as we speak. Guys, I'm enjoying this. This is the
Me
best
too.
part of my
This is
day
a lot
here.
of fun.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how it was going to work sitting at the desk playing music, but it's actually a lot of fun.
People often leave here saying that.
Yeah, it works. It
Right.
works, yeah.
Just chill vibes here. No
Chill
rules. We just have a good time. I would love. Instrument change.
We travel with a lot of instruments.
I see that. I saw it when you came in.
We might need to rethink that someday, or hire roadies. But
I'll tell you what. A show within the show was the setup prior to the show, and it worked, right? Wouldn't you say people would watch that? Are we going to do this? Are we gonna get this?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. What are we going to do now, gentlemen?
We're gonna do another song, Meteorite. We call it.
Right?
Yeah. And I'm totally blanking on what I sang for Meteorite. Can you remind me?
Would you sing?
Yeah.
It'll come to you when we start.
I think he was actually being serious.
I am.
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay.
Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram. See, it does come. Yeah. Gabe's right. So this little thing's called a woodrow, which has got like a little Appalachian sound to it.
Is that light?
Yeah, you want to feel it?
Sure.
It's also really easy to play. You can't play a wrong note because of how the frets are spaced.
3 strings.
So it's very easy to play. Yeah, 4 strings actually.
4 strings. Okay, I missed
two
that.
of them kind of create like a drone sound.
Okay.
It's pretty fun.
Where did you start playing this instrument?
My parents just saw this. I mean, they knew that I liked playing guitar. They knew that I liked music, and they just bought it for me. And
Nice.
yeah, it's just got a cool sound.
It does.
Can you pick this up, Judah, on there? Does that sound okay?
Can you give me just a touch more? I can do it from here. I can do it.
All right, let's do it. So this song is Sita Ram. It's another traditional chant. Sita and Ram are...
Judah, you want to get on set here? Yeah. You got Nathan Evans, the fabulous IP attorney, watching the program here. And once in a lifetime, you were an attorney.
I was formerly a litigator.
Yeah.
Nice. Sita and Ram embody divine love. And so this is, we felt like a good one for Valentine's Day. So. Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram. Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram. Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram. Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram.
Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram. Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram.
Anthony, that was beautiful. Goosebumps over here, man.
All right.
That was
Thanks, man.
beautiful, beautiful. Throw this to you. What is it you love about singer, songwriter, performing, playing instruments? I mean, you obviously have the gift of human connection. You're a very
Yeah.
compassionate person. What do you love
It's
about
a good
doing
question. Music has always been something that I've done solo in my bedroom with my own little studio. I never shared it with anybody for the longest time, really even very recently. I mean, working with these two is the first time I've ever played music live that I've written.
this? Really?
Yeah. So it's always been
Was
something
it the
that's
vulnerability nature of it?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I can connect with people on a lot of levels, but when it comes to something like I created, that's where I feel most vulnerable. And I never really expressed that before publicly until now, and I love it. And it challenges me, which is what I love about it. But it didn't come, let's say easily to get outside of that shell. But I'm so glad I did. So I don't know. I love it because it's challenging to me, and it feels fulfilling in a way that's just kind of unique. And when people seem to enjoy it or feel joy, like Phil was saying, from the music that we feel joy from playing, like that's great. I feel like mission accomplished. We just that's the power of music, is that it's such a unique experience. It can provide such a unique way of tapping into emotions, joy especially. There's nothing like music. I mean, music can just change how you feel in a moment, and being able to participate in that is just pretty cool. So.
Laura Markey Monroe says, Sitaram! Exclamation
Sitaram.
point. Lisa C. Adams says, absolutely awesome and beautiful. Ryan, the frontman from Disco Risque, welcome to the program. Jason McCall, the owner of Skipping Rock Beer, welcome to the show. Dr. Lindsay Neal, Daniel Gum of ACAC, watching the program here.
Awesome.
I got to ask this question. This is one of the hardest questions you're going to get. How does a trial litigator play? How many instruments do you play here? I mean, because that's both sides of the brain there.
I play about 7.
You play 7 instruments.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that evolution.
And he sings too.
Yeah.
And I sing. Well, I think I just have an aptitude for melodies, and I just want to learn how to play every instrument. Every time I hear one, it's like, oh my God, it's an incredible sound. I've got to play it. So yeah, and it's a natural progression. I've spent a lot of time playing with other people in live settings, oftentimes not performing, and having a chance to perfect. But no, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily a virtuoso in any of the instruments.
I'm going to straight up call you a virtuoso. A Renaissance man over here. 7 instruments?
Practicing is a problem.
How'd you become an attorney in the first place?
How did I become an attorney? Okay, a quick story. I graduated from the American University, and just to pay my rent, I started temping in Washington, D.C., and I fell in with lawyers and litigators, and just thought that this was absolutely incredible. All I wanted to do was litigate and go to court. I ended up as a commercial litigator, and it was very, very exciting. To our lawyer listener, I will say that there is a way out. Anybody working in a law firm, but yeah, ultimately, I will say that litigation is a corrosive lifestyle and not the way that I think problems should be solved. So that was my exit. Find less confrontational ways to do things.
You're going to appreciate this. Christine, Jerry, I love your show. I'm a UVA alum from 1998. I try to watch to keep up with Charlottesville. We love to visit for alumni weekend, sporting events, and just to come to bring the family. Please tell the litigator on set that we're watching the show around the law firm right now.
Fantastic.
Outside of Atlanta. So you got some lawyers in Atlanta watching you right now.
There is hope.
We're going to get Gabe in the mix. Gabe, my friend, anywhere you want to go on that, what you love about the song, what you love playing with the Bhakti Boyz here, the energy. Katie Williams is giving you some props and giving you a lot of love as we speak.
Hey, Katie.
Anywhere you want to go.
I'll just say it's a blessing to play with these guys, and I've been really pretty amazed by the synergy when we talk about the different musical influences and backgrounds, the way it all comes together. I mean, Anthony talked about his early influences. Reggae is what drew me to play the bass. Phil said he's into Americana and bluegrass,
Yeah.
and so bringing those things together is kind of a bizarre mix.
It really
but
is.
I like the way it works
should
out.
not work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then also, I didn't realize that, Anthony, you hadn't really performed
Yeah.
live. That's mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing, right?
Got a
We did not
gift.
know this when we started dragging him out.
Yeah.
We had no
I'm
idea.
so glad we
Oh,
got
yeah,
you.
That's the
This
first
is-
time you told these guys was right here.
Well, that says a lot about me, doesn't it?
Yeah. We'll have to do this more often.
Yeah, yeah.
Because,
for
dude,
sure.
you very much, and this is the second time you've been on set here. You're like a cool cucumber. You know, I mean,
yeah.
you don't strike me as someone that is like ever, and I've only spent a couple hours with you, but you don't strike me as someone that's like nervous or unsure of himself. It blew my mind as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing to think about because I do feel that way in many contexts, but I think we all have those contexts that do make us uncomfortable, that we are vulnerable about, even though we don't look that way on the outside. Like everybody,
It's like the swatter
everybody
duck on
deals
the
with
water.
that. Yeah,
You know?
I don't know what that is.
You
but-
mean, on top of the water, and then under the water, it's like
right.
moving at a feverish
Yes,
pace.
exactly. Yeah, I think that's a good analogy. Yeah.
Is there more vulnerable feeling out there than like creating words, putting words on a paper, singing them in front of people that are about like your deepest, darkest secrets or your
Yeah.
vulnerabilities or what's in your heart? I can't think of anything more vulnerable than that.
It's brutal. One of the things that I did to get myself used to it was to busk here in Charlottesville on the downtown mall. And when you're standing out there and you're playing, there's a certain degree of anonymity, but you're also, if you're terrible, it is very, very public. And so you can have an experience that makes you not want to ever do that again, but that's part of what you need to learn to do as a musician is to be able to push through that. Yeah.
Lee Alter, the fabulous artist watching, Kenneth Martin, Constance Wyatt, fabulous comment coming in. Awesome guys. I moved down here from New York, and you're going to have to help me with this. The quote, Bajan Belt? Am I saying that right?
Bajan?
Yeah,
Bajan Belt.
Oh,
Yeah, Bajan.
And so happy to hear you guys here. Thanks for spreading the BHAV.
The Bav.
The Bav.
Oh yeah, that listener knows what's up. So, bhajan is basically song, I think in Hindi, and it's a lot of times like what is referred to for this type of music, a kind of a static songwriting to create a divine feeling, which is the bhav. The bhav is a divine feeling, which comes about after you listen to music, but especially participate in music. So, and when we do like group setting, it's called kirtan, which is like a call and response. People can sing along with those songs. That's what's kind of fun about these is that because there's a lot of repetition of those lyrics, people can sing along, and the idea is to kind of create that divine feeling, that bhav. So
That's awesome. So how about this question? People are asking where they can find you, and we're going to play some more music, guys. But people are asking where can we find you guys online?
We have a Facebook page,
Okay.
Bhakti Boyz, and then bhaktiboyz.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
That's
you
it
play,
so far.
You're playing shows.
We have we're up on Spotify now with
Yep.
more songs coming up. We are playing a show at the Mud House tomorrow.
Crozet.
Mud House Crozet, starting at 2:00. We're looking forward to that. We're hoping that a lot of our friends and regulars come out and join us.
Yeah.
And the more people who come, the more it becomes a group singing event rather than just a performance, which is something that's a big part of what we do, is to get everybody involved, to get this joy feeling happening.
Michael Dale Johnson, walking your talk, brother Gabe. I'm proud
Thanks,
to
Michael.
know you.
Thank you.
All right, can we do another one?
yeah, absolutely. We'll do a song called Love Song. We'll bring it up.
Douglas Olson, I love some Bhakti Boys. Heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji, and you're gonna have to help me with this. Malachi?
Malachi.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, this one's called Love Song, and there's some English lyrics in here, which I wrote, which kind of tell a little bit of a story. And then there is a portion where we sing a traditional chant called the Maha Mantra, which is a chant to Krishna again. And so really it's about why this practice is so important in my life. When you're feeling down, when you're feeling lost, you can go to that place that provides peace and clarity And for me, that a lot of times that's chanting or music. So,
Cool.
yeah, all right.
Sing a love song, a little love song. Sing a love song for you. Sing a love song, a little love song. Sing a love song for you. Well, have you ever felt like you're losing someone? Have you ever felt like you're low? Have you ever felt like you're losing yourself? Have you ever felt like you're lost? Well, sing a little prayer for the Lord above. Yeah, yeah. Sing a little prayer when you're low. Sing a little prayer for the Lord above. Yeah, yeah. Sing a little prayer when you're low. Come on, sing Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Sing a love song, a little love song. I sing a love song for you, oh my Lord. Sing a love song, a little love song. I sing a love song for you, oh my Lord. Well, have you ever felt like you're losing someone? Have you ever felt like you're low? Have you ever felt like you're losing yourself? Have you ever felt like you're lost? Well, sing a little prayer for the Lord above. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sing a little prayer when you're low. Sing a little prayer for the Lord above. Yeah, sing a little prayer when you're low. So come on, sing Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Sing a love song, a little love song. I sing a love song for you, oh my Lord. I sing a love song, a little love song. I sing a love song for you, oh my Lord, oh my Lord, yeah my Lord. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Beautiful. So beautiful. Davina Jackson says, nice, nice, nice. Chris Trotter, welcome to the program. This question, and it's a good one, and we've touched on this briefly, coming from Hendersonville in North Carolina. Gentlemen, how did you guys get together? How did you guys meet? You guys sound
It's a good
like
question.
you've been playing for years. You haven't been playing for years, right?
No,
A year?
No,
About a year.
About a year.
Maybe a year. We got together from a kirtan performance, I believe. Gabe used to play with Shankari, and she used to do kirtan. He was playing bass. I went to go see them play and met Gabe. I think,
That's how I
right?
met Phil.
I think that's how we all met.
That's how we all met. So one of the things is I'd like to say is that there is a culture of kirtan singing here in Charlottesville. I think probably because we're sort of like base camp for Yogaville.
Yeah.
We are the nearest town, and so it's a pretty active community. Surprising for a town this small in the South. So we all met while participating in that type of music. I'm also going to do a quick pitch. If people want to get involved in that, there's an event every Thursday night. People get together and sing at Open Heart Yoga and do this type of thing. Everybody's welcome. It's a lot of fun.
Vanessa says, I am so glad I started my day listening to this show. Thank you for
Thanks.
sharing that, Vanessa. Grace, watching the program from Richmond, and she has a question for you, Gabe. She says you play the bass very well. Who are some of your favorite bass players?
Certainly, family man Barrett, who played with the Wailers. There are some amazing bass players who I can't even touch. Jaco Pastorius would be one. Victor Wooten. Yeah, those are the main ones that come to mind.
Chris Trotter says hello. Dude, have you ever sung that song to somebody that means something to you?
I mean, every time I sing it, it means something to me. And I feel like I sing it to someone that means something to me.
So you could say other than us.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Thank you.
No, I haven't. I haven't.
should.
Yeah, thank
That's
you.
amazing.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it's funny. It totally is a love song, but I wrote it as a love song to God,
Yeah.
actually. So a lot of the songs I write, like, they're ultimately about God, even though it's like may sound, or it has that analog of being about another person. It's like seeing the divinity in the world around you and the outside around you. So it is both a love song to a particular person, or it could be, but it's also about how to develop that relationship too. So.
Your favorite aspect of this? You kind of touched on this, but also skirted a little way from it. The songwriting is gotta mean a heck of a lot to you.
It does. It really does.
Like therapeutic, right?
Oh my God. And yeah, amazingly. I mean, it's one of the main ways. You know, I'm still trying to work on being able to feel comfortable writing lyrics. I don't feel like it's probably like a lifelong thing, but like I don't feel comfortable writing lyrics still. But it's just the act of singing, even like singing nonsense words, but getting that emotion still comes through. When I songwrite, when I just get home and I play guitar and I let it all out, like it's very therapeutic, absolutely. So when you're able to kind of crystallize those moments into songs that you can play with other people, like that's also really cool, and I love that about this group.
Arlo Brested, watching the program now.
Hey there, brother.
Chris Monk is wondering, and Chris Monk is watching outside DC. He says, "Can you ask Phil if he has a favorite instrument? If so, why?" But we said you play 7.
Yeah, I think probably the 6-string, steel string guitar, acoustic guitar is probably going to be my favorite. It's the most versatile for me, and I'm also do singer-songwriter type composition, and so that's my not going to make mistakes while singing instrument. Yeah. But I love them all. The idea when you have that many is to go to a group and find out as a musician, where do I belong in what's happening right now? And that's why I do different instruments is what's my job at this moment.
Okay, how about this question to you guys? Just topic in general. You guys go anywhere you want. You've lived in a lot of places, you've said.
Yes.
Charlottesville, Virginia. So the birth of this show was because of August 12th. And my son, who obviously means the world to me, as does my wife, and she's watching. Happy Valentine's Day, sweetheart. Was outside this building on August 12th, watching the most awful nastiness, ugliness, evil I'd ever seen in my entire life, and was in a funk. And I don't usually get in funks. Pretty much the only time I've ever gotten in a funk. For a while, because of that, and it was just lingering. And my wonderful wife said, "Look, we're going to figure this out. We're going to go see a therapist, or we're going to do something." And she helped this. And we're doing our very, very, very small part of trying to tell the wonderful stories of Charlottesville through the eyes of people that embody positivity and good and kindness and compassion and love. So this is where I want to go with this topic. Charlottesville, what is it, February 14th, 2020. Not a State of the Union, but how you feel about Charlottesville, where we are as a community, what needs to happen. Because your music, I think, is its mission, like I mentioned before, is all about people, just like this show, trying to feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
Be an escape, right?
So I'll just touch on it quickly. I was there in the middle of that melee on August 11th on that street corner where everything was happening and the violence was, and it was traumatizing. But to anyone listening, I'll tell you that is not Charlottesville. They were not from here, and that is not what we are about. This is an open, loving community. Let's just take us, for example. I mean, by most people's standards, we are straight up weird. We are a subculture, and we're here. And it's a tolerant place. It's a place that welcomes us and makes us feel safe and comfortable. And, I think this is an amazing place. You go out, you find out who's here, you network, you interact, and there's so much happening. But you have to get out and find your way and make connections. Beautiful place. It's got the mountains nearby. It's an ideal place to live.
What do you think, Gabe?
I feel like it's a good sort of microcosm or example of what we're sort of facing in the world with that event in particular. Like there's so much divisiveness and fear and anger that is sort of, I don't know, inherent in these times in our culture. And so how do you respond to that? And so like what you're doing here and what we're doing as a group to try to counteract some of that with just positivity and love and open-heartedness.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I moved to Charlottesville, I think like 2 weeks after August 12th. So that was a really interesting time to move here and to see the community, work through that process of understanding what happened, making sense of it. Charlottesville is still definitely healing, and there's more healing to be done. But I do feel like it is on the way up in a lot of ways and on the way back. I mean, it's brought up a lot about our community that needs to change, and I think that's important as well, that we are focusing on those things as a community. I'm in the housing realm, so I see it through that lens. There's a lot of work that needs to be done so that we can make sure that everybody in Charlottesville has a safe, stable place to live, and there's more work to be done with that. But we do have leadership in place that I think believes in that too. And so I think this is a really exciting time for us to make some changes, and I'm an optimist, so yeah, I mean, this is a good time. We're heading in the right direction, I feel like.
I'm an optimist. I think we're all optimists as well. Deborah Myers, hi, Cousin Phil. Very, very well said.
Thank you. Debbie.
Guys, give it a like and a share on any of these 12 Facebook pages. We are about 65 minutes in or so, and it's been a pleasure. Can we hear one more song? Can we do one more?
Sure.
That'd be awesome.
Do the short version of the Maha
Maha
Mantra.
Mantra, sure.
So,
How do we want to do that?
What's
Do
that?
you want me to come over there, or do you want me to just bring the harmonium over here?
Do we have? How long do we have? One of these songs can go for 20 minutes in a live setting.
Why
will
don't we
keep it
go?
very short.
Yeah, why don't we go 8 or 9 minutes? Yeah.
Okay, Anthony, you want to grab the?
Yeah.
Mind if we do a little quick?
Yeah, absolutely. You do whatever you need. Oh yeah, we can move this. Live shows, baby. I love it. I
Yes.
love it.
You might be able to put it on the table stand, but
So while he's moving this, Phil, give us some perspective. I'll get out of the way. You take the mic and give us some perspective as what we're going to hear here.
Yeah,
That way
good.
we don't have any dead air.
I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
This is a very old traditional prayer. It's called the Maha Mantra. It is similar to what Anthony chanted a few minutes ago, and it is just meant to be a vibration, a sound, sound about joy, not necessarily for me specifically devotion to any deity. This is an old. It might have some for people who are a little bit older. It might have some connotations. This chant has been trivialized and misused in some circumstances, but we're doing it the right way, and I hope that people enjoy it. Just to make the tune. Give me a second. Anthony.
It's
good enough.
You want to come on the side?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
That's absolutely beautiful. And listen to the comments coming in. This is from, and I'm going to mess up her last name. It's Mir Dene. I'm sorry if I'm messing. Dene. She says, I love hearing this music over the interwebs. You guys are absolutely beautiful.
Thanks, Mir.
Phil's baritone voice. This is from Todd. Phil's baritone voice penetrates the senses and the soul. I absolutely love this music.
Thank you so much.
This is from Laura Carini, who's watching in Roanoke. She says, the music is absolutely awesome and soothing and calming. I love today's show, Jerry. I agree.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank
Jason,
you. We love you guys. Thank
you guys, fantastic. Why don't we do this? You guys, do you have a website? We need to get a website here for this brand and this band.
We
need a website.
We do. We need one. We need
Yeah.
one.
I have to say that everything is emerging quicker than we anticipated.
Yeah.
So we are.
I mean,
got together
Facebook.
to
Find us on
play,
Facebook.
and,
I think that's the best way.
So we're in the process of building an infrastructure.
Okay, I like it. The brand is ready to launch, baby.
Yeah.
Bhakti Boyz on Facebook. Bhakti, Bhakti, and Boyz with the Z. Anthony's influence right there.
No, that was a communal decision.
Okay, that was a communal decision here. I feel like it was his suggestion.
Well, we said, all right, what about the Bhakti Boyz? And I said, only if there's a Z in the name, jokingly. But of course,
And
it's
here
stuck.
we are.
Yeah, it's stuck. Yeah.
I love it. Gabe, thank you for suggesting this.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I-
thanks
thank
for
you,
having
Gabe.
us, and thanks for what you do.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Thank you, Jerry.
Carte blanche. Anytime you guys want to come back on the show. It
was a lot of fun.
Tell us about Spotify. You have a song on Spotify, right?
We do.
Spotify, Apple Music, yeah. Govinda Jaya, it's the first song we played. We're about to release another single, so just keep,
The Loka song that
Keep
I
us on your
co-sang.
radar.
Yep, it's coming up real soon.
Bhakti Boyz, BHAKTI, Boys with a Z. Apple Music, Spotify. It's out there.
If anybody wants to book us, remember we do all of our bookings from the hot tub down to the AC.
Yeah!
That's right. Gabe will
You
be
can
down
find me
there.
there.
That's how this show is booked. We were in the hot tub at ACAC.
That's awesome.
This is a great comment. Great vibrations, guys. Spreading the Charlottesville love on Valentine's Day. Peace, peace, peace from Utah.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you kindly for joining us on the show. We will archive the show in totality on ilovecville.com, and our fabulous producer and sound man, Judah Wickhauer, is going to take the audio and turn it into a podcast on iTunes and on Apple Podcasts today. For 2 weeks following today's show, we'll syndicate it across the I Love CVille network, which is 17 Facebook pages, 17 Twitter accounts. We have the third largest Instagram in the community behind Charlottesville, the University of Virginia, the official Charlottesville page, a newsletter that goes out to almost 130,000 inboxes every morning at 11 a.m., and of course on ilovecville.com and on the podcast. We close with the same message every single show. We ask everyone to please embody the golden rule. The folks that you come across in your life, treat them how you want to be treated yourself. It's the golden rule. Very straightforward concept on paper, but I think it's a concept and a mindset that's overlooked quite often. The country, Charlottesville, the world need the golden rule more than ever. My name is Jerry Miller. This is the I Love CVille show, where we try to showcase the best of Charlottesville, Virginia. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, man, that was fun.
Thank you.
was
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
Thanks. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you. You guys were awesome.
Thanks.
Thanks, man. That was great.
Awesome. Crozet Mudhouse.